Pick one, Tobias. Gang. Good. Gang. We good to play? Yeah.
Platform TV, joined by Tobias on the couch with us.
Welcome, Tobias.
Thank you very much for having me.
Appreciate you being a part of the first platform, and really excited to get to know you and see obviously what you bring to the stage. But we also want to learn a bit about you as an artist and what you're about. You have a very interesting background in both acting and performing. Where does music come into it for you?
Well, first, really appreciate you guys having me on. Music just always sort of just been around.
Mhm.
I feel like even just like as a person like living in Western society, it's super hard to get away from music. Like you're in an elevator and someone's like there's music playing then.
Sure.
For me, it was mainly just like my parents both had very different music tastes. So my dad, growing up in like Central Java in like a really like small village in like a third world country, his music taste is obviously like super different to my mum who grew up in like northern Sydney.
Yeah.
So like my mum was super into like country music. She really loved like Dolly Parton, Keith Urban,
Right.
like Slim Dusty, like all of those like country, like Jimmy Barnes. I grew up with a lot of influence from those people from my mum's side, whereas my dad's come in and he's got like Michael Jackson's always on, or like every now and then we'll get like the Eminem show come in on the car when mum's not in there because she doesn't love that. But
Dad's like, don't tell mum.
Exactly.
I'm playing the explicit versions today.
Exactly. So like it sort of just came from having this mix of how like all these different musical genres affected different people, even just within like my household. And just to see like the joy that like music can bring someone, or the sadness it can bring someone, or the different emotions it can show. So yeah, that's where like I think the music sort of just sat within my life, especially at like an early age.
When did you decide you wanted to actually do music? We all, we all grew up with these influences around us, but only some of us, either put it down and write it down, or get a microphone, or get a drums, or whatever it is. What was it for you that kind of went, you know what, I want to do this. I love the feeling.
So like, there's this video that used to play on MTV of Michael Jackson live in Bucharest, and he came in on a jetpack. I was like, I need a jetpack. So I have to do what he's doing so I can get my jetpack. Because he comes in on this jetpack in this like golden leotard, and I was like, this is amazing. Like, I wonder what that's like with people fainting. Like, these people have paid money to see this man perform, and they're fainting in the front row. Yeah. They're not even seeing it. Yeah. Like, he comes out of the jetpack, they're done. They don't see the rest of the show. They'll wake up and be like, what's he
great?
Yeah. So I'm like, ever since like seeing that, I'm like, I want to be able to do that. And like performance, more than anything, like above like music or like acting or dance, it's the performance aspect for me that like really intrigued me. And so when I was 12, I was like, Mum, I want to do singing lessons. So we went to a music school, and we got guitar lessons because that was like at the time the vocal coach was on a waiting list, and like blah blah blah. Did guitar lessons for a bit. Ended up just screwing around with my teacher for a long time, just being like a dickhead and being like, I don't want to practice. I want to sing. Like, I don't want to play guitar.
Most kids at that age are like that. It's like, you just want the cool factor of it. It's like,
yeah, right.
I play the guitar.
I play guitar.
And so I entered this competition called Kelmscott Idol. And it was their first year of running. And I ended up winning the whole thing with a cover of No Diggity.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. And what I did is I rewrote the rap at the beginning because there was this girl that I really, really liked.
It always starts with a girl.
And I knew she was going to be in the audience. And I was like, I'm going to do this one part to her. I found out years later, she's like, that song's about hookers. So I don't know why you did that. I was like, oh, man, I thought it was like cute, whatever. But yeah, ended up winning that. And from there, I went on and just gunned it with everything that I got to try and make like this music thing like work. Yeah.
How old were you when you won this competition?
I was 14.
Wow.
Yeah.
You talk about Michael Jackson already twice. Is he someone that is like an inspiration to where your musical sound?
Yeah, big time. He's it's just that like again he was for me, one of the best performers to ever come out of anything, no matter what like negativity surrounds his name or whatever. But his like performance was second to none.
Mm-hmm.
Especially like now I don't even like I can't think of many artists that are gonna stack up like dance wise as well as like music videos. He always killed it. Like vocal takes was always just like amazing, and I just think it was, for me, that's somewhere to strive for as a performer, is do what he did. Not necessarily how he did it, but like just what he did was definitely revolutionary to the world and is a name that will never be forgotten. So I think
So just on that topic, what would be your top record by MJ? Tough question.
Yeah, I love. So my favorite album is the Dangerous album.
Yeah,
for sure. Like that's. I really love Why You Want to Trip on Me.
Okay.
That one's crazy. There's like a guitar solo at the start that just goes on forever, and then he comes in. It's either that or They Don't Really Care About Us.
Oh, wonderful track.
Which is so strong, so beautiful. Like, yeah, I think.
And even the music video for that was amazing.
Oh, right. Beautiful. As well as I love the, like getting specific now, but This Is It documentary that he made right before he died, and then they showed like how they were gonna do it on stage with like they green screened like 1,000 like guys behind him, and I was like, would have been so cool to see that tour come around.
I haven't seen you perform yet, but you know, ever since we announced that you're going to be playing at a platform on Badlands, I've talked to people and they're like, "Man, I can't wait to see Tobias perform." What is it about? Like, what do you take to the stage in your performance that obviously has connected with people that they can't wait to see you perform?
I think it's like, I always say like if you haven't been to a Tobias show, like if you haven't seen a Tobias show, you haven't seen like Perth's live scene yet.
Yeah.
Because like it's like a switch, and I'm sure like every artist says it as well. Like you get on stage and there's a switch that just changes you into like, this is go time. And for me, being like having done it since I was like 14, I know that switch very well.
Yeah.
And like there's a comfortability I have on a microphone in front of people, no matter how like dead a crowd is. Like I once played for like 3 people, and then at the end of it, the promoter was like, "I'm gonna book you for every show that I have," because that was the most amazing performance I've seen. And I was like, bet, because I just always try and like give it 100.
And I think that's what separates the artists that know how to perform, because I've spoken to many artists, and the ones that get up there and they say, "You know what? I performed to rooms of 5 people, or there's no one in the room, but I still gave it my all as if I was playing to 10,000 people."
Yeah.
And that seems like that's something that you've taken in yourself. And I'm sure Michael Jackson would be exactly like that.
Yeah.
Like you watch him perform and you're like, yeah, he would do that in his bedroom and he would give it exactly that amount.
There's a certain amount of respect that you have for the performance, no matter what the outcome is.
Yeah.
And I can attest to this. I've been to 1 or 2 Tobias shows. So
yeah.
It's something to watch out for.
Thank you very much.
You got a track called Mama that you released on Mother's Day. I'm guessing to show love to mum.
Yeah.
I feel like, every major artist has done that. What was it about that song that you were like, I need to pay respect to my mum?
So the big thing for me at that time was I'd written songs about girls. I'd written songs about taking other people's girls.
Yeah.
I'd written songs.
Yeah. Come to a platform show. You may lose your girl.
Right? But you see some dope music.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd written songs about girls, other people's girls, being the best in the scene. Like just anything and everything except for the person who was like the day one of day ones. Like if you think of, everyone's talking about like, oh, that guy's my day one. He's been there since I started music. It was like, your mom's been there since you were born.
Yeah.
And like my mom, I was super blessed to have like a very supportive parents. And so I was like, I need to write that song for that day one of day ones, as well as I've just like, I kind of got this tagline of your mom's favorite rapper.
I was getting there. When you started talking about mum like that, I was like, I've got this thing right here. It says, it's your mom's favorite rapper.
Yeah. So that kind of came from, I was playing a lot of like family orientated shows. And so a lot of the time that I'd finish a set, I'd have like mums come up to me and be like, I hate rap music, but I like yours. I was like, okay, bet. Like, thanks,
Yeah.
thank you so much. And I get like Snapchats of like kids being like, I'm listening to this track with my mom, and I'm
Yeah.
like, cool. And
Yeah.
I've always consciously made music to be like, do you know when you're in the car and you're with your parents and then like you're putting on a song and like, shit, I gotta skip this one because
Yeah.
they're not gonna like all those words. They're not gonna like what they're saying.
You're singing the lyrics ahead so that you can like catch yourself and be like, wait, should I
Like,
turn the song on?
Should I talk over this one part?
Mom, what's
Yeah.
for dinner? Yeah? Oh, okay, cool. Perfect.
Right? And then so I always consciously made the choice to be like, I don't want to make music that a kid's gonna have to turn off
Mhm.
when it comes on in the car. Like I want to be able, yeah.
making music when I was a kid, man.
Right? But like, yeah, I just wanted to be like, oh, mom, I found this like cool new song. You want to hear it? And she won't be like, turn it off because he's talking about hoes,
Mhm.
right? And so that's also where Mama sort of came from. That it's like it's a track for the mums
Mhm.
as well as for my mum,
Yeah.
but it's for everyone's mum. I always say tell your mum you love her. Tell your mum I love her.
Yeah.
It's your mum's favorite rapper, Tobias.
Right.
I'm going to have to think about if I'm going to tell my mum that you love her or not. Maybe I'll wait till after your performance and be like, let's gauge it here. My mum will probably want to come. As soon as she finds out, she'll be like, oh, yeah, I'll come down to the show. My mum's the biggest supporter of me as well. So, like, she's there always.
Tobias is taking girls and mums. And mums.
Your 2018 album, Learning to Love Tobias, what was that? You know, I feel like the title kind of says it in itself. Like, you're really putting yourself out there to people to get into your music. You know, how did that album kind of like put you in the scene? What was the noise like that you made with that?
Yeah, so with Learning to Love Tobias, that was a special one for me. So it was my second mixtape that I'd ever released, my second body of work. And that sort of came from a place of when I'm like living my life, I sort of split my life between Tobias and Toby.
Mhm.
So my name is Tobias, but my performance persona is Tobias,
Mhm.
and then my everyday life I'm just Toby.
Right.
But at that time, I was really struggling between splitting that two, just because I'd made a whole bunch of new friends in the performance industry that knew me as Tobias, but didn't know me as Toby. So then I was finding myself sort of lost, and I was trying to like learn to love Tobias rather than just because I'd sort of lost that gauge between the two. And then so with that project, I felt like it was my stamp. It was like this is me, I'm here, this is what I'm about as a whole entirety, rather than just like some singles for people to sort of get to know me. That's like the whole body as itself is like learning to know Tobias, get to know Tobias, and love Tobias.
Was that a moment for you that you really felt that you were now a musician, like an artist?
I think it was, for me, it was less like knowing that I'm the artist, but knowing where my boundaries lie as a person as to how much you can take on of something without it taking over you, if that makes
Yeah, it's
makes
super
sense.
important. Especially in the future, you know? If you don't take this stuff seriously, you need to be able to do that.
And I think with this like field, like it is so much, it is such a personal, even like the professionalism of it is also so personal. Like you're writing it, it's like Tobias is writing about Toby's feelings, which makes it the lines like super blurred. And so I had to take that time and use that project to sort of like as therapy figure that out for myself.
Does that help you when you're on stage disconnecting from Toby and being Tobias? Kind of gives you that Eminem, Marshall Mathers. You know, artists have done it before. Is that for you work?
The same with like Beyonce and Sasha Fierce. Like that's how I always think about it. It's just like it definitely helps, because if you're like stuck, if I'm like walking into my house and I'm like, I'm not trying to die all alone, mom. I don't have room for you on my team. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it definitely has to be like a switch. I can't like walk into my dance class that I teach and go to the kids and just be like, you suck, wake up. Like, you know. I definitely, it does help a lot switching between the two, like the two parts of my life. I feel like Hannah Montana at this level.
You've got a song with Tyler Rivers.
I do.
We asked him this same question. Platform, you're both performing. Are you going to be out there performing Throne together?
I don't know. We gotta ask him. Hey.
Oh, he said the same thing.
Did he?
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like we have to ask. We gotta ask Tyler.
It's happening. I
It
know
should
it's gonna happen.
Maybe it might
It needs to
happen.
happen.
It might. It's all on Tyler's hands.
August 23rd, platform. This is Platform TV. Tobias, man, thank you for joining us,
Thank
and
you for
we
having
cannot
me.
wait to see you on the day and that performance. If you haven't seen a Tobias show, you haven't seen a Tobias show.
Exactly.
Appreciate it, bro.
Exactly. Thank you very much.